Today is going to be a very long day. The northern motherfuckers have created a demon that they can't curtail. Let me say again. The northern motherfuckers have created a demon that they cannot curtail. And now the demon have grown wings. How did they create this demon? They created this demon believing that the demon was created to pursue their fanatical religious ideologies. They absolutely at a point in time trusted this demon that is going to do the bidding of just their fanatical religious ideologies. But now all of a sudden, the demon is consuming even them. And now just like they say, it's too late to cry when the head is cut off. But at this point in time, do you pity the motherfuckers that have created this demon? No. Pitying these motherfuckers that have created this demon is actually going to allow that demon to consume you. But rather, make these motherfuckers to curtail these demons by themselves, or allow it to consume them. And in so saying, I'm going to appeal for one thing to the president, of which, take it or leave it, he knows that Nigeria is nothing but a nation sitting on a keg of gunpowder, waiting on when it's going to explode. Forget about the political accuracy, political technicality, take it or leave it. He knows that at this point in time, the nation is on the verge of an implosion. If he can tell himself and tell everybody the truth, there is no political magic, there is no intervention that he will do to mitigate all these evils happening. But the only appeal I have to tell him is the fact that before everybody goes a separate way, or before we go for regionalism, let the regionalism be arrive at on the basis of referendum. That is to say, we cannot dwell on the existing geopolitical allocations, but rather people should come to a negotiation and sit on the table to decide where they should go and where they should not go. If you like, keep lying to yourself, but you know that this thing I'm saying is the truth, and there is nothing that can be done to mitigate this evil. It's already set. And nothing can be done to reverse this apart from the fact that the corn at this point in time need to be separated from the chaff. And that is the reality.
So this copper has been unalived. It was kidnapped last week. And a lot of people talked about it on social media. Especially the northern bloggers. They were blaming the kidnapping of this boy on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That it is the fault of its administration, that if we were to be them, this wouldn't happen. I was watching the trajectory of the bloggers over there. That is what they were saying. The truth of the matter is that we are facing a serious problem in this country, especially in the area of insecurity. And this particular problem is not coming from the southern Nigeria, not from the southwest, south, or southeast. It is coming, and it has always been coming from the northern part of Nigeria. And they enjoy it so much that they take pride in it. Now, the copper was kidnapped. This is a copper that went there to serve. They kidnapped him, and the parents rallied around to pay 10 million naira for ransom. At the end, they unalived this copper. You see, you can blame it on APC government, but to me, that is not really the problem of this country, because Jonathan actually ruled this country, and during his tenure or regime, this is what they did. They orchestrated insecurity just because they wanted to unseat him from the place. It has always been their pattern. If Tinubu leave that position today and you put Peter Obi to rule this country, the moment Peter Obi refuse to do their bidding, they will continue their insecurity. That is just it. And that insecurity will always come from the north. We always come from these Fulani, radicals. Now the copper was kidnapped. None of them said anything about it. Now he has been killed. None of them said anything about it. Of course, you can say, okay, Tinubu is this and that. Tinubu ruled Lagos for 8 years. I've said it before. During that 8 years, there was nothing like Islamization or Sharia. In all his political career, there was nothing like that. He even recommended 3 governors that succeeded him. 2 out of those governors were Christians. Even the present one, Sanwo-Olu, is a Christian. Only Fashola happens to be a Muslim. So it's not about Tinubu. Yes, Tinubu might, maybe when he was, contesting, then when he was campaigning for, presidency, he must have gone to the north to reach some agreement with them. Now that he refused to do their bidding, that is what they're doing. It has always been like that. If you put Obi there today, like I said, if Obi refused to go with whatever the condition they gave him, they will still continue it. And the source of this problem is Islam. That is what the whole world is suffering today. Islamic problem. If you go to Europe, go to UK, go to America, it's Islamic problem. The North just believe that Nigeria belongs to them, especially the Fulani people, that they must rule this country by all means. Nigeria belongs to them. This is the mentality and the mindset that UK gave to them. So they began to push this agenda by all means. So as long as they're not the one ruling this country, they must, one way or the other, push for insecurity. It is what they do. And now it has become a regular pattern to kidnap people and demand for ransom. At the end, they will unalive that person. That is why you see, Nigerians, you must rise up to this challenge. If you don't do that, then you will be a victim. So many of these people, they are radicals. They don't think like you think. One of their strategies is to kidnap people for ransom. They need that ransom to fully establish their agenda. I have said this before in my video. When they kidnap, they demand for ransom. They need that ransom to spread their tentacles. That is what they're doing. They are really broke right now because they could not be funded again. Maybe now that Ayatollah regime is going down, Turkey has been cut off by Israeli at the Horn of Africa. So they need money to propagate this agenda. That is why we must rise up to this challenge. You cannot allow these people to invade your territory or to come close to your bush or to your surroundings. You must not allow it because the agenda is very simple. Kidnap as many as you can, get ransom from them to establish and to spread your tentacles, then kill the victim. That's what they do.
Nigerians. So the Abba funeral prayer was held today, being the 6th of March 2026. Remember I told you guys yesterday that the family of Abba have agreed within themselves to hold a funeral prayer for Usman Musa, known as Abba. According to Islam, if your person or your family member, relative, friend, or any other, you understand, if they disappear or they get kidnapped and like they vanish, so you can decide among yourself, like after you wait for a couple of days, months, weeks without hearing from them, you can decide to hold a funeral prayer for them. And the family of Abba, after not being able to reach Abba, after these guys collected 10 million naira, they refused to put Abba on the phone for us to confirm if Abba is still with them or not. So, and the next thing, they changed all their contacts. So then the family waited for some months, weeks and everything, and they said, "Toh, we are not going to do anything with these guys again. We are cutting ties with them. We don't want to come because these guys are not trustworthy." So the family came out to thank everybody that have supported these that have supported them so far. So and this is the video from the funeral prayer. This video. The funeral prayer was held in Gusau today around 11 a.m. Now, after this funeral prayer, so a voice note started circulating, which according to the voice note claims to be Abba, according to the voice note, and talking to Mukhtar. Mukhtar is Abba's brother, that they should not hold the funeral prayer for him, that he's still alive, that he's going to come back, that they should not hold a funeral prayer for him. He was still alive. So I was with the family today. Yes, so I was even with the Mukhtar today. But the family stand remained the family stand. The family said, if Abba is alive, let him come home. That they are not going to allow these guys drive them into or trick them into communicating with them again, or trying to raise money to get another, or to get 3 bikes. No, you know how much is 3 bikes, and we have decided not to contribute for bandits anymore. We cannot do that. We cannot. So the family say their stand remain their stand. If Abba is alive, he should come home. They are not disconnecting from Abba. They are disconnecting from these bandits. So let me allow you guys to hear the voice note first before I continue.
Na yi magana da antinki maganar mashin ta ce za su kawo. To, da Allah waɗanda suka yi ta yada cewa na rasu ban rasu ba, ina nan rayi da ikon Allah. Da Allah sai ki tura wanga odiyon gida, ki tura ma Muktar da Malam Bashir. Ki gaya musu da suka cewa za a yi min sallah ban rasu ba kuma da ikon Allah insha Allah muna nan za mu samu dawowa in Allah yadda. Da Allah su ci gaba da taya mu da addu'a. Nagode, duk wanda ya taimake mu Allah ya saka mishi da alheri. Nagode sosai. Ki tura musu gida don Allah ki gaya musu.
The voice note is saying that the funeral prayer should not be held. You don't understand? They should not hold the funeral prayer, that he's still alive. You understand? And he's trying to talk to, they should tell Mukhtar. Mukhtar is the brother. So, but the families have agreed. If Abba is alive, he should come home. That's the point there. If he's alive, he should come home. That there's nothing, they're not going to communicate with these people again. They're not communicating with this bandit again. Maybe the bandits is just trying to use this thing to get us to pay more. I don't know, because nobody knows if this guy is alive or dead. Nobody knows if he's alive or dead. They have refused to put him on the call. Put him on so that we'll hear from. They refuse. Now they are releasing voice note. So nobody is. So if he's alive, he should come. Even if they put him on the call, we confirm and we will not send anything to them. That is the family final decision. And I stand with them. And I'm here to thank all of you for your support. All of you for your support. All of you that have supported in one way or the other with prayers and every other thing. Finance, prayers, anything you have supported this family with, I thank you all. So guys, this is the new the update coming out. I pray if Abba is alive, I pray he comes home safe. We want him home. That's it. If he's alive, he should come home because we love him and we want him home. But for them to lure us or trick us into sending them anything again, we're not gonna do that.
If the reports are true, then we are witnessing something beyond insecurity. We are witnessing in real time institutional collapse. So the 10 million naira ransom has been paid, and on top of that, now the kidnappers are saying that they are not going to release the copper who was kidnapped unless the family provides 3 brand new motorcycles. So now you can imagine, compliance now doesn't guarantee safety. So it is better you completely avoid the whole youth service thing in general. Because why will a young Nigerian would answer the so-called clarion call and he is kidnapped, beaten, assaulted, and his family are the ones negotiating with kidnappers? His family and common Nigerians like you and I are the ones now negotiating and crowdfunding to pay his ransom, while the government stays silent, while the institution itself, NYSC, has not drafted one single press release to acknowledge that this is even happening. My question is, where are the institutions that mandated his service? Where is the urgency? Where is the coordinated response? Where is the accountability? Where is the visible accountability? Nothing. And somehow we are normalizing it. If the citizens are left to crowdfund while terrorist groups are continuously making new demands, what message does that send? I'll tell you, it says that service is compulsory but protection is optional. I say this because I know that most of these politicians' children do not have to go to service. When I served with the deputy governor's daughter of a certain state in the north, and I can tell you for a fact that this girl was in camp for only one day and she left with a convoy of like 9 cars. There were police everywhere to come and pick up the deputy governor's daughter who spent only one day in camp. And let me tell you something, this girl never came for any CDS or anything whatsoever. The next time I saw her after camp was when she came to collect her certificates. Now you see why they don't care about you. You see why they don't care about me. It is very clear. You know they touch them. See, this is not about one core member. This is about every parent who is expected to release their children into a system that cannot guarantee their safety. If a program is going to deploy young graduates across volatile states in the country, then security should not be an afterthought. It should be a guarantee. See, I believe that every copper that is serving, there should be military escorts that would carry coppers from one point to the other, especially across states.
These are measures that should be taken. If insecurity has now become too big of a monster, then they should also take precautionary measures by making sure that they are very well protected. Until the needful is done, I'm of the opinion that NYSC should be scrapped, or at the very least put on hold till further notice. Because why should young Nigerians continue to be mandated into a scheme where their safety is completely uncertain? See, silence from institutions in moments like this is not neutrality. It is a complete failure on the part of the system. And we have to call a spade a spade. Scrap NYSC today. No life is worth a certificate. Wake up and smell the coffee.
Good day to our viewers all over the world, and welcome back to Local Journal. You see, the insecurity of this country is going out of hand already, and something needs to be done urgently before it gets out of hand. The South needs to speak up against this whole thing happening in the northern part of the country. Of course, we can say that it's not happening in the South, that it's happening in the North. Let them unalive themselves. Let them do anything, whatever thing they want to do to themselves in the North. It doesn't concern us in the South and whatever. But the thing is this: the very fact, or the singular fact, that Nigeria is a singular entity and the North and the South are still together, there is no way this whole thing would expand into the southern part of the country. So it is better we stand up and declare a state of emergency on insecurity in Nigeria as a whole before this gets out of hand. You can imagine the situation of this corps member who, after his people had paid for the ransom fee demanded by this terror group, they still went ahead to unalive him. This is to tell you that a common man is not safe in this country. The North, who created these monsters, who wanted to use these monsters as tools to achieve their political offices and to make anything, or maybe to like make any demands they want in this country, and the South will have no option than to yield to it. They can see that it's gone beyond their control already. They created these people so that they can use to control Nigeria, so that they can use them to intimidate the South, so that they can use them to intimidate and to like wrestle power from other regions. They created them so that they can use them to wrestle power from the opposition. They created them so as to use them as political tools and talks to do their biddings and to carry out their own plan. But we can see that this whole thing has backfired. This has in turn turned the northern part of the country into Afghanistan. In short, Afghanistan is better than the northern part of the country if we be very sincere with ourselves now, because the state of the north now is alarming. People cannot travel without the fear of being kidnapped again. People avoid that region. Tell me, who want to which of the investors want to like go to the northern part of the country to go and invest when the place is not secured? They think they are doing other part of the country, rather they are destroying their own region. They are destroying their region, because at some point, if this whole thing continues now, the country might eventually divide. And if it eventually divides, if it does, of course the North will have themselves to blame, because when it comes to human capital development, they don't have. When it comes to infrastructural development, they don't have as well. So tell me, what is it are they going to fall back to? Is it the religious extremism that their clerics and religious leaders are teaching them they are going to fall back to, or what? You can see the indoctrination we are talking about that will be condemning. This is the result of the indoctrination. The North has failed. The northern leaders have failed. And it's obvious these guys, they don't have any clue on how to solve and fix this problem they brought upon themselves. The painful part of this problem is that it's not the people who invented the problem that are being victimized. Ordinary and innocent northerners are the ones being used as sacrificial lamb for what they don't know at all. They didn't bring this problem upon themselves, rather their leaders brought it upon themselves. But the people who are paying for this crime committed and this whole thing, these monsters created by their leaders now, are the innocent northerners. And that is the reason why I'm calling on all Nigerians to use their voices, their platform, to give this thing more attention so that globally it can be heard of. These guys are living in, they are suffering. The situation of the North is becoming alarming every day. It's not making any sense. The only people I have pity for are the innocent ones who are at the receiving end, not the extremists and not these leaders that have brought this thing upon them. If it were happening to their leaders, I think it would be a problem because they brought it upon themselves, but it's happening to the innocent one, and that's the reason why we have to be concerned about the situation happening in that place. The president needs to declare a state of emergency on insecurity in the North and insecurity across Nigeria, because it's not funny any longer. This is my opinion. Drop what you think about this in the comment section, and if today is your first time to visit our channel, please kindly like, share and subscribe to our channel.